Welcome back to Faith in Pieces, the podcast where we grow in our faith together, piece by piece and story by story. Today, we are joined by Christy Irwin, someone I've had the pleasure of working with twice in my career now. We have
Lucky you.
an unspoken contest going right now. Which of the two extreme introverts have we gotten together can get through a podcast saying the least amount of words possible?
Oh gosh, that's a really good contest. Okay. So it's like golf. The one that's the least wins.
Yes.
Okay.
Lowest score wins. It was a really short sermon on Sunday. We'll see if we can keep this in style. We're going to start off scripted so we can do our Advent wreath. So today, we come face to face with the scandal of Advent. Mary, the unmarried mother, God incarnate growing in Mary's womb as a vulnerable baby, Joseph contemplating leaving Mary because of her pregnancy, God's love at work in ways that society and propriety could not understand, and God calling Mary and Joseph to faithfulness despite the fear of disgrace.
With Mary and Joseph, we choose to wait, watch, and listen for the way of love instead of responding in fear to the world's judgment.
We light this candle of love as a sign of our faithfulness as we seek, find, and follow Emmanuel, God with us. First
You
time
did
on the
it.
candle. We're good
It wasn't
to
the
go.
click, click, click. Way to go, Eric.
First test passed. So, one of the things I talked about in my sermon this week is how I hope to make the Christmas story concrete, something we can grasp. And for me, what that really is, it's about just removing distance we have with that story. It's an amazing story. It's miraculous. Maybe we don't see that in our everyday lives. So I always try to take this story that we hear every year, it's super familiar, and make it resonate with us in the here and now. Are there things that you've done with your family to help that point connect with the boys? Or just for yourself even?
Yeah, and I'm going to preface this by saying I am not always the best at this. Christmas time can be busy and we have a lot going on. I think pre-kids, it was way easier than when we had the boys. Before we had kids, which was really cool. One thing we did is we partnered with Reach Unlimited, which is a nonprofit for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, is we picked a group home where some of the members lived, and we went shopping for some gifts, and we made breakfast, and first thing on Christmas morning, we delivered those to the house. And it was really special for the ones that lived there because they weren't home with their families or even the staff that did that. I'm all for giving and donating, which is really important. But I think when you take that extra step to go be with the people, it really makes a center on that Christmas story and being there with and sharing God's love with people. With the kids, now that they're a little bit older, we're allowing them to come up with the ideas that we're doing. So a few times we've done the Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
And their whole philosophy is no child sleeps on the floor. And so you commit to going one day and delivering beds and bringing the beds and building the beds for the kids. And the neat thing about that is we've been able to talk with the boys after. And I had one of my kids was mad that the other one didn't help build the beds. But what he did, I think, was really special and important for all of us is that he went and sat on the couch and played video games with the kids of that house, right? So you're being able to show love by building this bed, which is important to have, but going the step forward and to be in relationship and to know them by name and to call them by name and to have fun playing games with them. I think it's a pretty special way to center ourselves on sharing God's love at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's cool because I like that. One, the relational aspect is cool, but that it's relationship in a non-performative way. It's just like, no, I am meeting you right where you are. So I like that because it gives dignity to it, right?
It does.
It's not just this, some people from somewhere else came in and dumped stuff on you.
Right. And as a parent or someone that's asking for that help, it's already hard to invite people into your home. So your walls kind of come up, but when you're able to see someone else love on your kids and to treat your kids with that dignity and respect, I think you're seeing God's love in an even bigger way than just providing a basic need.
Absolutely. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any Bible stories that you've used through the years to help make things? And what I'm thinking about are within the life of Jesus, or maybe stories that predate the life of Jesus that you have connected with that have made you rethink about the miraculous stories in a more kind of down-to-earth way.
I don't know. I can probably think of many stories before or after, and I know this is like the Jesus answer that when you ask like, what is the answer? And everybody yells at Jesus. But I think when you, and it's cliche to say the Christmas story, but I think when you really think of the Christmas story and you think of the ordinary people, God used ordinary people all the time.
Mhm.
Like you look at all the stories and it was ordinary people with little to no qualifications that were a part of God's plan to do big things. But when you look at the Christmas story and you see the, a scared young girl, the unexpected angels, the shepherds who were the lowly ones in the fields, and you think of the chaos and the messiness. And we're about to do a pop-up pageant, which everything is going to go wrong, and it's probably going to be chaotic and beautiful and messy all at one time. But I think it really is such a good reminder over and over again that God is among us in the uncertain times, in the messiness, in the chaotic times, and that we have that same call to show up to others in the messy, in the real, in the ordinary, and the mundane. So I don't know. I still at this time really just thinking about the story and the characters and the situation and just God's plan through it all.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think maybe personally where I get hung up and maybe why I need to project my need for making things feel less distant is because, we've got the stories of the angels and the host from the heaven. And for me, it's so grand, and it is so otherworldly. And then, where I have to do is I have to go through other stories where angels have come and they didn't recognize them. They just thought they were people.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, well, it can't be that distant.
Right.
And then I become in awe of the shepherds. Well, it's like, well, they recognized it. Right? You have all these other instances where, God comes and we're not sure that that's what's happening. It's like, no, they got it. They understood. It's like, well,
they did understand.
You guys. The rest of us are just maybe overthinking.
Out on the back.
So the too long didn't read version of the sermon is...
Well, that's good because I wasn't in the sermon. I was in kids'
fine.
church. Okay, so I'm ready for the shortened version.
Some people may have wished they were in kids' church instead of the sermon too. But the whole point, the takeaway was the church doesn't have a mission. God's mission has the church.
It's good. Say that one more time.
So the church doesn't have a mission. God's mission has the church. So the idea is that the job of the local church is to embody the mission and ministry of Jesus, which is a lot of pressure.
We got a big job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, do you have any favorite stories from working with students that speak to that?
So many.
Well, I wanted favorites though.
Okay, favorites. I think when I think about who Jesus, the ministry and mission, I think about relationships. I think Jesus was all about relationships, cared about people, loved people, taught people, was with them through it all, right? I love the opportunity to go on mission trips with students. And I could give you a million Army stories, but Army is wonderful, but it's a time where you go a week and you make a huge impact in that 1 week, but then you leave. So when I think of Jesus, I think of ongoing relationships and really investing in people. So I think the story I would share is our partnership with Mission of Yahweh.
Okay.
The students have had many opportunities to go serve with. And I like how we use the word with, because we're not going to do something for people. We're going to be in ministry with them and have those relationships, and it to be a two-way relationship. And so our students have been able to do Mother's Day crafts for the moms, back to school events. They've cleaned out dumpsters. They've done all these things, but when they go time and time again, they're called by name, right? And so we had a Thanksgiving event recently that we went and gave the turkeys away. And one of our students, Liz, who came on the summer mission trip, she came home and told her mom all about this incredible organization. And so her mom wanted to come to see like what sparked, a fire and a light in her daughter. And when she came, Liz was greeted by Miss Helen there. They took a selfie, or they got their photo taken together. And a mom and daughter were able to serve with the mission of Yahweh. So I think it's just creating ongoing opportunities to be in relationship with a mission partnership.
To me, that really speaks into how the whole sermon series went as an arc, right? So you missed it, so you get to recap.
I mean, we taught it in kids' church, so we did it on the very basic level with motions. I mean, we had motions.
Perfect. But it's that idea of God with us, right? We have the birth.
Always with us.
We have God in us, and that's the Holy Spirit. We talked about, clearly it's easy to look at mission work and see the through us.
Yeah, God works through us.
But for me, the among us part is that relationship part, that two-way street, and the fact that it's not a thing that happens.
It's not a one-time relationship, right?
Yeah,
it's ongoing.
Among. And that to me is just sort of like it's there. It's not something that we have cloistered just for Sunday mornings.
Right.
It is outside, and it's going there, and they know your name.
Right.
You know their name. You're on each other's social media feeds. It's organic. And that, to me, that is the distinction between, you can be present, but really that fully participating, that engaging, that's what it means for God to be among us. And I feel like that's how we embody it.
All right.
So, in that, we talked about students a lot.
Can't forget about the kids.
Yeah, the kids, my go-to is always just ridiculous. They know this weird old man who's going to be a goofball, whatever. That's not necessarily the best way to teach lessons. I just go and get other people's kids riled up and then I hand them back, and it's a lot of fun. But how do you communicate the importance of all this to kids without just saying, hey, be nice? Because they hear that everywhere. Or maybe am I just overthinking it? And maybe just telling kids to be nice because Jesus said so is enough.
Well, I really think it's a both and. I think it's important to share with kids through words. One of the things we recently started doing, because the more kids say things it's like why we learn memory verses, right? So we get them in our mind and we get them in our heart. And so we took, I don't know if it's really an affirmation or a creed. I went to an open house at a school, and like the students have something they say of like who they want to be every single day. And I'm like, well, that's a good idea for kids church, because we do opening prayer, and kids church is modeled after, church. We kind of do the similar things throughout it. So we kind of created this affirmation looking at who we are as a Mosaic and who does Jesus call us to be. So I'm going to read it because I do have it memorized, but I would probably get. And the beginning part is from Eric always say, God loves us, and there's nothing we can do about it. So it starts with, I believe God loves me no matter what. I believe Jesus shows us how to love. I can help everyone feel welcome. I can be real and kind with others. I can serve with joy. God's love connects us all, and I want to share it. So, that's just the simple words. And words are important, but I think as parents and as ministry leaders, it's important to model that, but to create opportunities for kids to actually do stuff, right? Because kids aren't the church of the future. They're the church of the today, So when we donating, and I've said it earlier, donating things is really important, but there's a step that goes beyond just that becomes tangible and important for kids. So we create opportunities for them to donate items for blessing bags to give to the people who are unhoused, just something with basic needs, encouraging notes, but not just bringing it and putting it together. Their job is to take it with them. And when they see someone who they feel they can bless and give to, they have the opportunity to put that into action, right? And so I think there's just more ways. We had a family come with us to do the Mother's Day craft, and it was young kids that came, and they were able to do the craft right alongside the families or the kids at Mission of Yahweh. And we were able to talk to them about what this means for the moms and for the kids. So I think, our job to allow opportunities for our kids to be the church and partner with God's mission, because God's doing incredible work.
Yeah.
And we want the kids to be a part of it. But we have to provide the opportunities and to model that for our kids.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. So one of the other things, like you're kind of preaching the sermon, we talked about not confusing our mission statement with the mission work, right? Like the mission statements are an awesome way for us to talk about the work that we do, but we can't ever confuse having an awesome mission statement with the actual work that we're called to do. And I just think that's so cool.
Because you can't just say it and not do it.
Right. And and it would be awesome, like to have beautiful words and then kind of sit around and let everyone else do the work. But we also talked about Advent means waiting. But we clarified what we're waiting for and what we're not waiting for. And part of the things we were clear about is this work that we're supposed to do, to that relationship building, God among His work, isn't the part we're waiting on. We're doing it now. And so I like the idea that that's what we're teaching.
Kids, you're going to do this when you're old enough to do that. No, you're going to do that right now.
Yeah.
We're all going to do that right now.
Right. And it's scalable. It's like we're not going to ask them to do things they're not capable of, but they're going to do something.
Yeah. What do you think of the Christmas story? It was like ordinary moments. Like sometimes I think we think we have to wait to do something big, but there's like really small things we can do that, truly share God's love and to partner with the work that God's doing.
Yeah.
Small things.
That. Ordinary moments.
Ordinary moments.
That.
We have a lot of ordinary moments.
And if we learn to see the divine happening in there, that one I'm writing down and taking away.
Yep.
I like that one a lot.
Take it.
Here we go. You win the podcast.
Your next sermon.
I also talked about our commitment to give it all away, which is a big one. This is a conversation I've had with other churches. And
this is something we've done together before. When you brought it up here, I'm like, yes.
I fought for it. And I fought for it in a lot of places that said no to it, because you could see like the look of sheer terror in the eyes of finance committees.
Well, we can do that because we're not finance people, right?
Yeah. All right. What do we care? Can you describe how the kids have responded to that?
Okay, well, this is fun. I don't know if you have never been back in Kids Church. We have a GiveBot that came from a GiveBot factory. This is where you can cover your kids' ears if they're listening to this, because I'm going to share with you something. Our GiveBot is actually just a shop vac that has the crafters made a really nice fabric-y thing over it with arms, and it has the tube for the shop vac. So the GiveBot throughout the year, like I said, we do everything we do in church. So we have offering every Sunday. We have our one offering basket because we want to give our kids the first gift back to God. And then the GiveBot, which is named Mo Fuzzy, throughout the year, the special offering throughout the year goes to the building campaign. We talk about having land and a new church and how we can do ministry there. But we have the opportunity for our kids to give the special Give It All Away offering all month. And they love it. They collect, we give them little tubes that they can, and a script that they can go share with neighbors or friends to help fill up their tubes. And the whole idea and why it's a cute, fuzzy thing is that we want to teach generosity at a young age, and giving back to God to continue that work that God is doing in our community. And we can do that by collecting quarters or coins. And when they come up, and it's really fun, y'all really should do it. And they put their hands out, and like Mo Fuzzy basically sucks up the coins. There's giggling and there's laughter and they're joyful. And it's teaching kids the importance of giving with a cheerful heart. So we had one of our youngest ones she brought her quarters all in. She's been talking so much more now. And she just kept telling how she had her money to give. She had her money to give. And we talked about, what are you giving your money for? And it's to help feed people. So we've been given the basic things that this money is going to go for. And I do have it on video, so I need to share. But and Mo Fuzzy is feeling a little sick, so had to go get fixed. But we had our offering basket up front for giving it all away. And she just like carefully just put every little quarter that she had in there. So it's a fun way, but it's teaching our kids that there's, little tangible ways that they too can collect the money and joyfully give. So
yeah, that's selfishly what I like, is that we've got this generation of kids that will get older, find their own church homes, and then think those places are crazy for not doing this.
Yeah.
It'll be the exact opposite response that we've received through the years. Like, why are you nuts enough to try this?
Right.
And they'll just think that's what you do. They won't question it. It's just, this is how I've always done it.
Yeah, we give it all away. And the neat thing is that our missions team does a really good job of talking with our partnerships to figure out what a good need is to where that money can go. And then everybody just gets behind it and supports it. It's wonderful.
That is cool. We're going to shift gears a little bit. Still talking about giving things away. Yep. We alluded to earlier that we worked together before.
Yep.
And where we worked together before, I did not get to go home ever. Christmas Eve just lasted into Christmas morning.
Yeah.
But at the end of the services,
the longest day ever.
Ever. We had a million poinsettias. That's my fault. I ordered them all.
But they look so beautiful.
They were.
They do.
But we got to take them, and we didn't get to take them. You got to take them. You got to distribute them at the end of the night while I was still locking up and doing things. Well, I've always wanted to know. I never got to do that. I was jealous of that. What are some of the best stories you had from giving those poinsettias away to people?
I think it was one of those things where also pre-kids, some things are, easier to do. But we would literally, because if you leave the poinsettias, they're just going to stay and die. So we would just load the car up full of as many poinsettias that we could give and drive around town. One of the places we would always stop at was the hospital. We'd go into the waiting room. Just think of the people working, but also the people who are sitting in a waiting room. And we didn't talk much. It was just a quick, going to bless people with the poinsettia, telling them Merry Christmas, God loves you, handing it over. Jack in the Box, really, there's not a lot of food places open. So it seemed that Jack, we're hungry because, been at the church all day. We'd be at the Jack in Box drive-through, window down, ordering our food, but then handing poinsettias over to give to different people in convenience stores. It was just a neat way to truly usher in Christmas, was to be able to bless someone with just a poinsettia.
Yeah.
One day, if you ever order a lot of poinsettias, even if we get done well earlier and not at 12:30 at night. This year we're doing cookies. We have our cookie station set up, and we have created little, we're going to have little baggies that people can just put a few cookies in a bag and, take it and deliver it, drop it on. We've done neighbors' doorsteps before, but.
That'll be good. I'm not sure when this podcast is going to get published.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a couple of poinsettias for the Christmas Eve service. So
here we go.
There's a couple. If you want to come and grab them and make that part of your new annual tradition, this is the first year we're going to offer it.
Well, and I think it's just really sometimes, things can happen in ordinary moments, but I think if, you can come up with a plan, this is one thing we could do this year. And one thing could be, I'm going to go pass out poinsettias to people working on Christmas Eve, or I'm going to take cookies to, just getting creative.
Ordinary moments.
Ordinary moments.
That's the new theme for this one. I am glad that you did this with me. Otherwise,
this was fun. I think I talked more.
I don't know. We'll keep an official score and post that.
I'm sure we can upload this into summer and see who had the most word count.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping talking so I can keep my count going up.
It's low score wins. Thank you.
Yep.
For everything you do with the students and kids, for inspiring us through all of this. It has been awesome to get to work with you. Well,
and I can't wait to hear your sermon. This was really good. I'm going to have to watch it when it comes out.
Good. I'll go back and post and fix all the spots that
And y'all should tune in if you haven't tuned in already.
Fess up that I partially destroyed the stage unintentionally during the sermon. So that was a first.
Okay.
Hopefully last. It has been fun to be with you. We will see you hopefully Christmas Eve and in next year when we start our next series.
See ya.